Galaxy S3 review. Galaxy S3 review. Why am I saying S3? It's definitely Galaxy S8. Just doing some audio checks. What's up, techies? Josh here, and this is my Galaxy S8, S8 Plus review. I've had my experience with both devices. I've had the most experience with the Galaxy S8, the regular size. That's actually the size that I prefer. And I'll get into that in just a second, but I want to let you know, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit that red button, but also hit that notification bell so that way you don't miss any videos from me. I do tons of reviews on smartphones. I do reviews on other accessories, some camera gear and things like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, you definitely want to subscribe to the channel. I'm also over on Twitter the most, so if you like Twitter, that's definitely a place I like to hang out at BaneTech. I'm on the other social networks, so if you do like those places, I do chime in there here and there. For this review, I'm going to try my best to be short and to the point. I'm not going to get into too many details. Basically, just want to lay out what I like and what I don't like about the device. Let's start out with what I like, and then we'll go into what I don't like about the S8 at the end of the video. First of all, Samsung has done a really good job with the form factor this year. I really dig the wide display, the tall display. It's a little easier to hold in the hand, especially for the Galaxy S8 Plus version. It's just been a really good experience as far as that goes. Samsung has really spoiled me with this design, and I really want to see this kind of minimal bezel design on pretty much any phone that is made at this point. When I see other devices, it just really sticks out with the chins, the bezels, all that stuff. So it's a really good design, but it's definitely spoiled me in that respect. And no surprises in the camera department that it is actually one of the best cameras, if not the best camera you can get on a smartphone to date. It's just superb. It's got great features in-app. You don't have to go to the Play Store and download extra features to get into using different kind of stuff like you have to with other things like the Google camera. It's got everything that's included. It's all-inclusive app, and that's something I really look forward to in a camera app or camera features, the camera package altogether. You got great results and you got great features. It's just a-okay in that department, and it's just really, like I said, not a surprise. Samsung has done a great job for years now with their camera on their phones. Another area that Samsung does really well with is their display. The display just looks superb. It's really great in bright sunlight. It's got this nice little boost that happens when you're in the daylight, but it also just looks really good, whether you're watching a movie, videos, playing games, normal browsing the internet, social media, all that kind of stuff. Everything just looks nice. Back in the day with TouchWiz, it just really didn't look that great. I still don't like the Grace UI that they have now. It's just not the best looking UI, but the nice thing about it is that you have Samsung themes. You got a theme store that has a lot of options. I like stock Android, the material kind of look, and so I go into that theme store, find the theme that I want, apply it, and it looks like I got a stock Android Galaxy S8. So it's really cool. It's very customizable, which is what we want from Android in the first place. The last couple of years, there's definitely been the debate if you should get the Note series when it comes out in that particular year. And it's because they've brought over a lot of those Note features onto the Galaxy device of that particular year. This year is no exception. You got a lot of the same features of what you can get when you had the previous Note series from last year. I'm sure like a lot of those features will be featured in the Note 8 when that comes out later this year as well. So it's really cool. You got all those options. Basically, you just don't have the S Pen. And that's okay, because you get a lot of nice features that you can use. You can make GIFs, you can make all kinds of nice little creative kind of aspects. If you're into productivity, if you're trying to manage things, there's all kinds of tools that you can use to do that. I don't use the Edge features too much. There's my shortcuts to the contacts. I sometimes use that, but I just kind of get accustomed to using my apps on the bottom of my screen. But the other thing that I do tend to use, which is actually really nice, is the screen cropping tool. It's really nice because you can just use one hand to do that. Now, normally when you take a screenshot, you gotta use two hands, you gotta use two fingers and all that kind of stuff. But all you gotta do is just swipe over on that edge, get to that feature, and you're rocking. So it's a really cool way that you can do that. It's just one of the very many things that you can do with all these features that they bring over from the Note device. It's really just kind of accustomed to what a Galaxy device is like now. The S series used to differentiate with the Note series because of that stuff, but now it's pretty much just like one thing. Another awesome feature about the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus is that it's water resistant. You could take this thing, completely dunk it, and it's great. You're rocking, you're doing some really cool stuff underwater shots, videos, photos. I did a really cool slow motion shot with the Galaxy S8 going down one of those big inflatable water slides. It was really cool. You can see the water pellets just flying right by me. Really cool stuff. I thought that was really neat. And it was a little different. Like normally you kind of do normal speed into slow speed and then back into normal speed. But this, you can kind of split it up. You can go from normal to normal to slow, back to normal. It was a really cool effect, and I thought that was pretty neat that you could do that. All right, so that's pretty much my top list of what I like about the Galaxy S8. It's all the stuff that I appreciate, what I enjoy using. Now let's transition into what I don't like about the device. It's not a huge list, but might be some deal breakers listed within. So let's get started with what I don't like about the Galaxy S8. First of all, the fingerprint placement is horrible. It takes quite a bit of getting used to, at least for me it was. It's a bit easier on the S8 versus the S8 Plus because you had to reach up a little bit further onto the device, but it's not that accurate either. And a lot of times I did find myself hitting that camera. And you know, it's one of those funny things, like when you first get the device, when you open up the camera, it actually has a pop-up that comes up saying, you know, keep a wipe handy so that we could keep your lens clean. Now, why would they say that? It's like they were expecting people to be putting their finger on the lens because of the placement of the fingerprint sensor. It's just a horrible spot. I don't think anybody likes that placement. It definitely belongs beneath all that other stuff or on the front, just something. It's just not a good placement at all. And I'm not excited to see that placement being put onto the Note 8. So that's a real bummer. I was really hoping that they would listen to the people and put it elsewhere. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe the renders and the leaks and all that kind of stuff were false or whatever. But it's just not a good placement at all. They need to fix that the next time around. Battery life normally isn't something that I normally talk about in my reviews because there's just a lot of elements involved, a lot of variables that go into play when we're talking about battery life. But I have to bring it up this time. The Galaxy S8, not the S8 Plus, the S8 just isn't that good. I found myself having to recharge my phone in the afternoon time. I judge battery life if it's good or not, if it gets me home and some, so that way I can still use it past dinner time or whatever. Like if I get that, I'm happy. If I get more than that, that's just icing on the cake. But this time around, I definitely had to charge it up about 3 or 4 o'clock, usually average. You know, good thing it does have Quick Charge 3.0 on it and it charges up pretty fast, but still, I would rather not have to plug my phone in so much. I don't like glass backs anymore. They look nice, but as long as there's nothing on it, like fingerprints, scratches, and all that kind of stuff. This Galaxy S8 scratches up pretty easy, and it also is a fingerprint magnet. It just attracts them. There's no way around it. As I'm holding it now, just looking down at it, it just looks grimy. And I don't have dirty hands, but just naturally everybody's gonna rub off some fingerprints. And it's just not that good looking on a glass back. I just wanna see something else next time. I'm over glass backs. They just need to change up the design. It looks nice, but most of the time people are gonna be covering it up with the case or skin anyways. It just doesn't look good. Let's just do something else. I don't want to see glass backs anymore, and that's for everybody. I don't want to see it on any other device. They look great when they're clean. That's it. But other than that, they're going to be covered up by a case, a skin, or fingerprints. And that actually leads me to my next point, is that this thing is very fragile. And this is the first phone that I ever cracked. I cracked the front screen, or at least the corner area. And if you're interested how I cracked the phone, I'll leave a link down below. I went into a lot more detail in a total separate video. So definitely click that when you get a chance after you get done watching this video. It's going to explain just a little bit more of how this got cracked. And like I said, it's the first time that's ever happened. It was kind of sad. I've also heard around the internet, some of my followers and stuff that have said that they cracked their device pretty quickly. It didn't take very long for it to happen. So it definitely goes to show you that this thing is definitely very fragile. You definitely want to have some kind of screen protection and definitely a case on it if you want to keep this thing from having any kind of accidents. Performance-wise, this really sucks I have to talk about it because it's 2017. They should have a lot of stuff ironed out by now. But this actually reminds me of the old school Samsung. The lag is pretty bad. It overheats, force closes. Like every day there was some kind of issue with that. If I put this with the Phantom 4 when I was flying the drone, goodness gracious, it got hot. I was out in California flying my drone and I felt down on my phone and I was like, goodness gracious, I need to get this under some shade or something. It wasn't like I had it in just a blazing heat or blazing sun. I had it covered up with my body and stuff like that. It just got hot. So I had to bring in the drone, let my phone cool down, and then put it back up a little bit later. So that was kind of frustrating, and that happened almost every time that I used any kind of extensive app. If I use the Gear VR, man, that thing is like a heat mask in front of your face. So at any time that there's like some extenuating circumstances with performance, this thing overheated pretty quickly and it got pretty hot, almost too hot to touch. Lastly, Bixby. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen on a phone. It's useless. Most people don't even use it. They remap it, they turn it off. They have a dedicated button for it that no one's going to use. It's just stupid to me. And they should have, I could get like a whole rant, a whole high horse or soapbox about Bixby. But long story short is like, you know, make your own OS or something like that if you're going to have this kind of stuff on it. Not to mention that they didn't even have it ready for actual launch. It took until this point, just a few days ago, that Bixby started making it over to the public for it to be used. That's so silly to me. Don't introduce a feature if you can't use the whole thing. Yeah, anyways, I'll just leave that alone. It's just not the smartest thing I've ever seen a company do as far as features go. Alright guys, that's my review about the Galaxy S8, the S8 Plus. It's pretty much the same phone, just different size, different, you know, screen size and battery and all that kind of stuff. Got pretty decent battery life with the S8 Plus, and it was definitely big. And it's the first time I actually preferred the smaller version of whatever phone was out. Usually I like the biggest version that comes out, but I tend to like this version better, the S8 size. Man, I really could go on for hours about the Galaxy S8. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot I could go into more detail about, but it's just time to give you my thoughts about it. It's been quite a few months now. I kind of want to wait a little while, plus there's circumstances. I couldn't get the review done as quickly as I wanted to, but it gave me a lot of time, and I'm glad I waited because some of the issues didn't start happening until maybe about a month's time ago. If I would have had done it before then, it wouldn't have been that accurate of a review. So you really got my real user experience with the Galaxy S8. So I hope you appreciate that about it. I know it's a little bit late, but it's one of those, like, I actually appreciate that this kind of got extended out so long because I ended up having so many issues with this device. Would I recommend it? I still would recommend it. It's a really great device if you don't come across the issues that I had, the overheating, the fragileness of it, the performance issues and things like that. If you don't experience that, I mean, it's gonna be a great phone. One of the best that you can get. So I'll leave it up to you. So yeah, there you go. There's my 2 cents or more about the Galaxy S8. Let me know what your 2 cents are down in the comments. Did you get the device? Did you hold off? Do you have any kind of questions about it? Let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching this video. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up. Also, share this video with your favorite social networks. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos from me. And until then, stay techie.